Hello, my name is Anthony Lawson, and I'm about to perform my third public speech. Good afternoon to everyone who is in attendance for my third public speech. My name is Anthony Lawson, and today I would like to discuss with you the newly implemented college football playoff system and how it is just as bad as the current BCS system. Today I would like to compare the current BCS system to the newly implemented playoff system, as well as give you some ideas on how we can keep the integrity of the game intact, as well as generate a true college football national champion. Some of you may only watch the national championship game, and you all are missing out on great games throughout the season. Now, the emphasis is on season. The college football season is unofficially the best league that we have in all of sports. Now, the reason that is because the college football season generates itself as a playoff tournament style season, where each game is equally as important as the next game. So how does two teams get to the national championship game? Who decides who goes to the national championship game? That would be the BCS. The BCS is known as the Bowl Championship Series. And what goes into the BCS, there's a computer-generated formula that takes your rankings, your strength of schedule, your conference, and a few other things, i.e. polls and stuff like that, that goes into this formula that generates the two teams that plays for the national champion. The BCS started in 1998 after the Bowl Coalition and a couple other committees decided to join forces and generate this BCS formula. And this BCS formula generates two teams to go on to play the national championship. Now, the newly implemented playoff system, which starts in 2014, the season, not the year, generates the same format using the BCS format. So how can the BCS and the playoff system be different if it's using the same system for the playoff system? Now, this playoff system would generate 4 teams as opposed to 2, and these 4 college teams will have a +1 game. Now, the BCS, going backwards a little bit, the BCS is a 4-game series where there's the Rose Bowl, Tortilla Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, and the Rose Bowl, and they all rotate from year to year who house the national championship game. So with the newly implemented playoff system, it's going to be 4 teams, and again, that +1 would dictate who goes to the national championship. Now, the fans will be affected by this change because the fans will also have in their mind that there's a playoff system, so eliminating the season as being the playoff/tournament that it is currently, now they can miss a couple games, they can watch games on TV, but then you will have the blackouts like the NFL has. And thus the schools would now be affected by that change, thus losing a lot of money. So there's a lose-lose for everyone. Now, some ideas we can use to keep the integrity of the game intact, as well as still generate true national champions. I believe we can, for one, eliminate preseason rankings. Because how can you tell who's good and who's not good before the season starts? Every year they rank certain teams, excuse me, i.e. Florida State last year, who started out number 5 in the country, ended up number 18th or somewhere. These so-called experts get it wrong all the time. What we also can do is move the college and all fall sports games and leagues through the middle of July instead of having them start late August. If they start in July, then they can play a longer season and get a more idea on how good teams are or aren't, and we can generate national championships that way as well. But the main thing that we can do is have the NCAA generate the non-conference schedules. Now you won't have teams like the University of Florida coming to Charleston and playing the Citadel, and other teams across the country are kind of teed off that they have an easy schedule. So if the NCAA, like the NFL, generates those teams non-conference games, if the NCAA did the same thing on a collegiate level, everyone would have the same equal playing field. So no one can gripe about another team's chances of playing in the national championship game. So last but not least, if everyone isn't on the same playing field to be able to play for the national championship game, how can you say that you have a true national champion? So in conclusion, you see why I feel like the newly implemented playoff system is just as bad as the current BCS system. So I'd like to thank you for attending my third public speech. Thank you. Hope it ain't bad on camera.